So you can see re-driving, just going through this tunnel, really nice. I like these little ponies. I'm not concerned that they're turning their heads to one side. This is early in their training. We swap them from side to side, obviously, so they get used to it. This is really good. I mean, this is only in the middle of their training, and the way they are just getting on with the job. The bridge is quite frightening for them, really, because not only do they go up and you've got a change of, you know, the sound under their feet, but also there's gaps between the big timbers that they can look down, and that's always frightening, much like a drain hole, really. You see how they're just off the pole nicely together, and they come when she asks them to come together, and going really well. This is quite a difficult thing for horses to do, go through a tunnel. It's a little bit echoey when you go through. And you see here, this is quite interesting how they'll attack this. So, I mean, there's no slowing in pace, and they dip their heads. Always reminds me of a footballer, you know, trying to get a goal with a header. So they're coming really, really nice, the two little ponies. Lovely ponies. You always get at this stage one that is not quite as fast as the others, but as they get fitter and you adjust your reins. The shame of it is that these ponies are all ready and doing their job really well, but unfortunately the lady that owns them doesn't have a vehicle or the harness, which, you know, does seem a bit of a shame. I suppose, you know, it's all down to, you know, expenses at the end of the day and what it costs to get them right. But as they come out of here now, just lovely. So really pleased with them at this stage. And here's our first one coming up single here. If you notice, on this particular vehicle we're using, it's very, very lightweight. It was specially made for us, really. It's stripped right out to a very small amount of weight. And we put extra wide shafts on when we introduce horse to single work. And then we put the correct size shafts on for the pony. So this is early days yet, but it's already done it in a pair and it's coping perfectly well on its own. Not all ponies do. And then you can see without its friend alongside it, it drives perfectly straight up its spine between its ears, its tail going between its ears as we call it. Going over these metal, they make a tremendous noise. You'll hear it on the other films. Where I'm doing a voiceover here, you won't have any background noise at all. Otherwise you wouldn't get this. But you see this turns nice, and if you notice at no time does Ree have to apply a great deal of pressure. The reins are slack all the time, but control is there. I don't think you could get it any better, really. And she'll come back to a walk, she'll stand, do everything she's asked. So this isn't at the end of their training, but their progress has been, you know, lovely. And both the same, really. They both do the same thing. This is, you know, quite hard to do for a pony because it's wearing its blinkers. These ribbons are just behind and they're touching it around the back of the ears, the neck, and obviously down the body. And this really does make a noise. If you look on other films, you'll hear it, and it is quite frightening. But then obviously they've got to deal with manholes when they're out on the public highway. So, and we cut them like a sleeping policeman. So Ree's wearing a camera on her chest, and there again you can see with that ball. These here are actually, I'll tell you what that is, that's flat hose pipe. So you've got very light ribbons we've just gone through there, and prior to that the yellow and blue is flat hose pipe. It's very heavy, you know, it doesn't give very much. These do, they're very soft. All they are is sponge tubes, pond noodles or pool noodles I think they're called, but they're what's wrapped around pipes for insulation basically. But, you know, little ponies drive really nice, absolutely superb. And it's just a shame that she hasn't the harness and the cart to carry on. But what I've said is, or what we've loosely arranged is that as and when she's got a vehicle, she'll pop them back for a few days and I'll pop them in and get them back and, you know, go from there basically. But there you go, look, lovely. And, you know, Ree's a novice driver, which is nice. She's only been with me a short while. The back up there is quite nice, pretty straight really, for an early attempt. And, you know, she's only been with me for a short while, not a few months. And already she's driving at quite high standard. But it's just showing you that you've got a novice pony and a novice driver. So having them working together. Now, they say in certain societies and it's crude to tap them with the reins. Of course it is. No one would deny that, most definitely. But ponies do get tapped with the reins, intentionally and unintentionally. So part of the training is to do that. But there you go. Home for tea. I'm looking quite happy about it, I should think, up to the gate here. That's lovely. So obviously enjoyed their time out.
There's a smile on my face every time I hear that sound. The rhythm of the hooves as they touch the ground. And there's no better place I'd rather be than with my safe, confident horse. And there's no better place I'd rather be than with my safe, confident horse that's had